Hi guys, so this is going to be a quick tutorial on just the discontinuity of a function. So under vertical asymptotes, I did do a brief intro to discontinuities. So just like when you are looking for vertical asymptotes, the first thing you want to do is factor the denominator. And anytime you have a rational function, you want to try to simplify it as well by factoring the numerator if possible. So that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start factoring g of x. So why are we doing this? The discontinuity is like a hole in the graph. So meaning there is a point that the function can't actually be because it would be defined in the original function. So just starting off, again, we're going to start by factoring two numbers that multiply to be 1 times -2 and add up to be the middle number, +1. That would be +2 and -1. And then from here, multiply first times last. I need two numbers that multiply to be 3 and add up to be the middle number, which is -4. Those two numbers are going to be -3 and -1. And over each number, remember to put the first number and split up the x squared. So 1x, which you don't really have to put 1 if a is going to be 1. So your two parentheses will read x minus 3 and x minus 1. So there is this saying, if you cannot factor it out, you cannot divide it out, meaning, just taking a sidebar here. So let's say I gave you something like this, and there is a fraction rules tutorial, just kind of giving you a brief intro on some do's and don'ts of fractions. But this is not a thing. Oh, didn't even cross out. This is not a thing because you can't factor x out of the 1. So if you can't factor it out of both terms, terms are separated by plus and minus, you cannot divide it out. So this is not a thing. But this is. So we factored the numerator and denominator. They have like factors, which is x minus 1, so that will divide out. And what happens here is that this is where my discontinuity is, meaning this point does not work within the function. If I set that factor equal to 0, I will get x equals to 1. And if you go onto Desmos.com and you graph this function, if you roll to where x is 1, it will say 1 undefined because this is technically an open circle here. It's where the hole is. But to figure out what point that hole exactly is at, we're going to do exactly what we always do if we know the x value. We know the x value for the discontinuity. To get the y value, I am going to replace the x into the simplified function. Remember, it doesn't work in the original function, so we replace it into the simplified function. So g of x, remember, is just another way to say y equals x plus 2 over x minus 3. We know that x is 1. The x value of the whole is at 1, so 1 plus 2 over 1 minus 3 will give me 3 over -2, which is just -3/2. So this is where the discontinuity is. All right, guys, hope this helps.